And now the final segment of episode 1 of the Shaney Show. If you're here, thank you for being here this whole time, for watching on Shaney Clips. Hello. So the final segment I want to do is about Brady versus Jordan. So after we talked about with Sarge before about Super Bowl Sunday, now I want to talk about the GOAT of all GOATs. Now, I could have included Wayne Gretzky. I could have included Tiger Woods. I could have included Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali. I could have included a lot of other GOATs. But this one I feel like is just such a good battle. And I feel like this is worth talking about. Who is a better athlete? Athlete, we know the answer, it's Jordan. But who is better at their respective sport? Tom Brady or Michael Jordan? Now, this is one that is very tough to debate against. It's very tough because obviously two different sports, anytime you try and pair them together, it's near impossible. So I'm going to make a case for both. So we'll start with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was 6-0 in the NBA Finals, 6-0, undefeated, two different three-peats. It's unprecedented in the NBA. He retired 2 times. Now, this might sound like something that you could use against him. It's not. He retired, came back with the same team twice, and then also came back with the Wizards and played in his 40s after 9/11. That's impressive. Now, retiring once after saying he did everything he could in basketball, coming back, winning 3 more titles, leaving again for a couple years, and then coming back and playing again for the Wizards, that's beautiful to me. I really, really said bad things about Brett Favre for leaving before. Totally different story, if I'm being honest. He also played baseball. He went to another sport, did better than anyone. Now, a lot of people really don't like his baseball career. I don't blame you, because it was awful. But, that being said, he didn't touch a bat from high school into his 30s. And then he went and he played baseball. And he played baseball after over 10 years of not playing baseball and dominating one sport. And he went and he played, and he obviously didn't start in the MLB or anything, but it's still pretty impressive, and that's just a testament to how good he is. He's the undisputed GOAT of his sport. I'm not undisputed. I'm sorry. He is a highly, highly, highly debated GOAT. And also, he never went to a Game 7. That's just something that's really good to mention. Again, undefeated. And he is, if not number 1, he's number 2. There's no debate there. Now let's go on to Tom Brady. 7-3 in Super Bowls. Super Bowls, in my opinion, are tougher to get to than NBA Finals. It's a one-game elimination type thing, so I can't even say that that's really the same. Most Super Bowl appearances of all time by a player, that's pretty incredible. This isn't a LeBron type story where he's just going in and losing so many years in a row. He's 7-3. We also got to talk about most Super Bowl wins of any player or franchise. Now, the any player thing's really cool, but the fact that the 2 leading franchises in Super Bowl wins are the Patriots, who he was on, won all of their rings with 6, and the Steelers with 6 are tied, and then Tom Brady himself has 7. No one in any 4 sports have done that. Bill Russell won 11 with the Celtics, but Tom Brady has more than any franchise in NFL history. That's just amazing. He did it in 2 conferences, which was a big deal, something Jordan didn't do. Jordan always stayed in the East. Brady went to the rivaled conference, the NFC, which was always debated as a harder conference to play in. And he just dominated. He did something a lot of people didn't say. He did something LeBron is doing right now, left for the West. And he went to the other conference, and in his first year, he won an NFC title, which he's now won the same amount of Super Bowls as Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, just in the NFC alone. Beautiful by Brady. And he's the undisputed GOAT of his sport. Now, the only reason I'm going to give this to Tom Brady, I'm giving Tom Brady the argument. This is not based off athleticism. This is based off legacy, and this is based off how good he was. Tom Brady wins because he is doing this at age 43, and he's been consistent for 21 seasons. Now, if Jordan hadn't retired, it would be a different story, because I do firmly believe Jordan would have 8 to 9 championships in his career, or at least 7. And if Jordan stayed, I love Jordan. Last Dance was amazing. You can't even say, the help thing, like, oh, Jordan never did without Scotty. Yeah, well, if Brady didn't have Vinatieri in 3 Super Bowls, he wouldn't have won. If Brady didn't have Malcolm Butler in his fourth Super Bowl, he wouldn't have won. If Brady didn't have himself in Super Bowl 51, which that's another thing I'll bring up, 28-3, greatest comeback in all of sports history in my opinion. Second biggest comeback in NFL history. First overtime Super Bowl ever. You can tell I'm a Patriots fan, and this isn't biased. It's based off by facts. Like, if you have trust me, most clutch, I'm still gonna give it to Brady because Brady is just he always is trailing and comes back. This Super Bowl was the Super Bowl 55 that I'm talking about against Mahomes. That was the best scoring Super Bowl he's ever done, and it was the biggest margin by 22. Besides that, the biggest he'd won by was 10 against the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 53, which, I mean, by all means, is amazing. Besides that, all of them were within one score. Eagles, one score. Seahawks, obviously, one score. Panthers, Eagles, Rams, all of those were also one score. Impressive by all means. Now, the thing about Jordan is he played a lot of crazy competition. He played players like Malone and Stockton. The problem with Malone and Stockton is both never won a title, so it kind of brings their competition down a little bit. Then he got Magic Johnson. Well, he was old towards the end of his career. This is pre-AIDS Magic Johnson. Who knows what would have happened if the Lakers could have stayed together. He never had to play against players like Shaq and Kobe. Brady has gone through decades of competition. He's went through the Michael Vick Eagles, not in the Super Bowl, but he's played against them. He went through, let's see, what dynasties has Brady gone through? He went through the very tough Rams in the beginning of his career. He had to play the Giants every year. Now, that can be looked at as a blemish, or that can be looked at as, I mean, I do believe that if the Kobe and Shaq Lakers got to play against the Bulls late in Mike's career, he would have lost. So that would have been a blemish on his career, but I'm not going to use that. Yes, the Giants were his kryptonite, and you can even say the backup quarterback, Nick Foles, Eagles, yada, yada, yada. Great games, all three of them. But the thing is, the competition's just not there. And then also the Supersonics, really. What's another team Jordan played in the finals? So we already got 3 of them, 4 of them actually. I believe they played. Well, it doesn't matter, to be fair. I'm saying all these teams like it matters. Judging them based off the NFL teams Brady played is not fair. But Brady did go in as underdogs every time, while Jordan did have an insane team around him, but also football, more men on the field, bigger team sport. I just got to give it to Brady, and that I'm not gonna discuss any longer.